Today is the 4th of October 2025, and honestly, my life is not as interesting as I thought it was. When I had this idea of documenting my daily life, I thought I'd have more to talk about, but um, right now, like at the end of the day, I have nothing I can or want to talk about, and nothing worth mentioning, like the way I see it at least. Um, because I haven't really had much going on in my life generally. Like it has been very peaceful, which I'm okay with. Like I'm not complaining about it being peaceful, and I have the chance to focus more on myself. And it's such a cliche, but I'm really like figuring out who I am, who I was, and who I want to be, and really focusing on what I want to do with my life and where I want to go and where I want to be, and on my creativity. But with that came the idea of who I was, as I mentioned, and I don't know, in the past couple of weeks, I've been really thinking about the person that I was before. Like 2-3 years ago when I was like 16, 17. Like when I was 16, like even now when I want to talk about it, like I have to admit that was my prime. That was like, I was the coolest girl I have ever been in my life. The way I see it now, like my style and like the girl that I was just like, I was a kid. I was very young. I was very immature and very dumb, and I made some very dumb mistakes, and I can't deny that. I made very, very, very bad decisions. And I was also not doing well. At 16, I was mentally, not. I wasn't doing that good. But still, when I think about it, like in the past couple of weeks, I'm really like, I miss that version of myself, and I miss the person that I was, and talking to other people, like I can't stop mentioning how I wish I could like have parts of my old self back, and not completely, like not fully, but like partly be who I was, because I thought, or I think that I was cooler, and I thought that, like, I don't know how to explain it, but when I'm creatively blocked and I can't write anything, I tend to think it's because I don't have much going on. Like, I'm not doing anything special. I'm not, like, experiencing anything. And I think a part of it is that, like, my life is very peaceful and I have not much to write about. And so I can't stop thinking about how crazy and rebellious I was when I was 16, which I think is not an original experience. Like, I think many people are rebellious, and I don't know, they do a lot of crazy shit when they're like in their teens, in their like early teens. I don't know, and it got to a point where I was mad at myself, and I started disliking myself, like my current self. I think it was like last week that I was like talking to a friend, and I told her, gosh, I do not like the person that I am. Like, I love myself, but I just don't like myself. And 2-3 years ago, I hated myself, but I liked myself. Like, I did not love myself. I didn't respect myself enough. And that was why I made some very questionable decisions, but at least I liked myself. I admired my courage. I admired my mindset, like my I don't give a fuck mindset, And like right now, it's different, and I have it differently, and I think that's somehow blocking me, and I have nothing to write about, or like nothing to like, no, I can't write any songs because I just don't feel cool enough to write songs. Before I used to feel so cool, and I felt like I was so special because I was so unique, and I had more to write about, and right now I don't have that anymore. And I caught myself being very fed up, like absolutely fed up with myself. And like I realized I was being very, very, very unkind to myself. And she told me something, like, honestly, when I talked to this friend of mine, her name is Setare, and she's just an angel. I fucking love her. And she told me, that's just the voice in your head that you have to shut up. And the more you listen to it, the louder it'll become. You have to stop listening to it telling you that you're not cool enough, that you're not interesting enough, that you're boring, that that you're not creative enough anymore. And she told me, you need to stop thinking about who you were, because that's in your past. You have to choose who you want to be in the future, and who you are now. That is like the most important thing to think about. And like, who you will be in the future is somehow more related to who you are now than who you were in the past, because like, when you know what you want to be, you can work on yourself, like your appearance, or also like your mindset, your mentality, so that you can become the version of yourself that you want to be, and that really made me think, because it is true. And besides, I cannot get my old self back. Like, no matter what I do, I'm not gonna be the 16-year-old Ava ever again. Which still, when I think about it, it's kind of sad, because I don't know, I have this thing, and I think it's wrong to believe like this stereotype, or like this, I don't know, do you call it a societal belief? I don't know. But like, to think that as an artist you need to be crazy, that you need to be problematic, that you need to, have a lot of shit going on. You need to like be unwell, like mentally unstable, so that you are a good artist. I think that is something that is blocking me, like believing in those stuff. And I'm still trying to like, get along with it, and like not listen to that voice, but it has gotten much better in the course of like 2-3 days. Because the more you shush that voice, and the more you shut it up, and like, close the door to that censor in your head telling you you're not cool enough, that you're not interesting enough, that you're not a good artist, like, the more you try to ignore it, the more stronger you will become. Because that voice, that is not you. It's just a censor in your head. And the more you feed it, the louder it'll become. So your job is to starve it. Your job is to just ignore it, and to just, throw it aside, because, it's not real, and it's not you, and it doesn't define you. God, I'm out of breath. So yeah, like, if future me is watching this and she's blocked because she thinks she has to be mentally unstable to be cool and interesting enough to be an artist, I want her to remember that those are just wrong beliefs. I don't even know where they come from. I think I need to do a research on that and see where they originally like come from, like these thoughts that you need to be an alcoholic, you need to have like a very shitty love life, and you need to like be mentally unstable and crazy and problematic, and you need to be miserable so that you're a good artist. Yeah, I need to take a closer look into where these thoughts come from. But for now, I just want to remind myself, like, the Ava that is sitting here right now, and also the Ava who's probably gonna watch this in, I don't know, like 5 years, 10 years, wherever, not wherever, whenever. I want myself to know that I was born with a purpose, with a passion, and this is what I'm here to do. And what other people think or say about artists, which is not true, will not define me or the path that I am on. And I want myself to remember, God, this music is very depressing. Sorry, it's jazz. I love jazz, but it's very depressing and yeah, whatever. I don't like the music, but whatever. We're at the end of the video already. God, I've been talking for 10 minutes. Woo. I want myself to remember that I'm on the right path, even though I don't know where I'm headed, that I was born to create. I was born to do something with the talent that was given to me. Creativity is God's gift to me, and my gift to God is to create. That is the gift that I have to give back to God. And the wrong beliefs that I have, or the wrong beliefs that people around me have, they will not define me as a creator, as an artist, or the path that I'm on, or the work that I create. My art comes from a very vulnerable, special place inside of me, like deep, deep inside of me. And my job is to take care of that part, and my job is to nurture it and to allow myself to create. And that is what I'm doing right now. And sometimes it's hard to ignore those voices, like external and also internal. But it's important to believe in yourself as an artist and believe like the voice inside of you that is telling you to create, and to like never forget that you gotta create, that you need to put that creative energy somewhere because you have it in you and you can't just let it go to waste. So yeah, that's something I've been thinking about lately. And I'm not finished, I'm not done with this topic yet, but I want to go watch a movie with my sister. And I'm going to Italy tomorrow. Yeah, so that is something interesting. That is something a little like more interesting, a little cooler than what I normally do on a daily basis. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say for now.